Hey there, bookkeeping side hustle community. It's Kate. So glad to have you here today. And if you're listening on replay, glad to have you learning about Financial Sense. It's a practice management software that we're gonna dive into. Our guest here is the founder of Financial Sense, and we're about to get started. We're going to kind of break this into two sections. We're going to have a demo of the product, but what I'm also really excited about is he's going to show us how they have, like in the last just couple months, have incorporated AI into their platform. And I'm excited to see him show that off. So be sure to stick around for the whole interview. If you want to sign up for Financial Sense, the Bookkeeping Side Hustle community does have a referral link. So make sure to grab that below from the description. And also in the description, Shahram has done a bunch of education for us, especially in 2022. A lot of stuff that brand new owners can use, checklists, just how to grow your firm without Financial Sense. So there's a playlist of all interviews where he is just stepping out and helping educate our accounting and bookkeeping community. And those are really, really useful interviews. So catch that playlist below too. Post your questions in the chat. Let us know where you're listening from right now. But this is it's interactive. So if he does something that you don't say, hey, repeat, I'll make sure he sees that message. So we're going to jump in. Shahram, tell us who you are, a little brief intro, Financial Sense, and then we'll jump in.
Yeah, definitely. So for everyone that doesn't know me, my name's Shahram Zarshenas. I'm the founder of Financial Sense, and basically what we do is we help accounting firms get work done. So you could, the technical term, it could be the accounting workflow software, accounting practice management software, because it really helps you manage your practice. And the reason we built Financial Sense was because we saw that, as, a bookkeeper or accountant starts out, you can do all the work in your head when you have a few clients, right? You can keep track of everything. You're hitting your deadlines. Maybe you're using sticky notes or writing it down on like a piece of paper just to keep track of everything, right? But as you start to grow, as you get more clients, or even as you start to add team members, becomes really hard to manage everything in your head or with what's on your desk. So things become disorganized, right? When you get new team members, you have to delegate work. Did they get that work done on time? Did you hit that deadline? Do they remember all the information that you shared with them? Maybe they don't have access to the information, or they do, they just don't know where it is. It's you sent it in an email and they can't find it in their inbox and they forgot about it. Or where are those documents? They're in some file system somewhere or somewhere in the cloud where they don't know where it is. Or even as you have clients, right? It's really hard to juggle all that work you're doing for the clients and making sure nothing slips through the cracks, right? That's what we hear a lot. A lot of firms, as they grow, things start to slip through the cracks for those reasons. So we built Financial Sense to help you manage all that. We like to think of it as like a hub, right? It's a single source of truth for your entire firm to get everything they need to get their work done. They can see the visibility of everything, so where everything stands, what needs to get done, like a to-do list. You can collaborate with your team and your clients, and then organizing all that work, those collaboration, the documents, the client information in one place. So your team has one place to go to get everything they need. So they know where it is and they know how to find it quickly to get their work done. So that's a little bit about why we built Financial Sense and high level what we do, right? And like, I think our biggest thing with us is it's easy to use. We found that you guys are busy. You don't have time to implement a complex tool or even just learn how to use a tool from scratch. So we made it very simple so anyone can do it, which then also makes it easier to implement it with your team and get them to use it. Right. So yeah, that's the quick overview.
Okay. And I know a lot of people are going to be going to Scaling New Heights. He's kind of on the conference circuit, so make sure you reach out to him and definitely start a demo. I think is there a free trial with it, right?
There is, yeah. It's complete free trial. It's all the features, so it's a full feature trial. No credit card required. And if you have any questions, you can talk to our support team. You can talk to our sales. They'll show you how the product works. They'll show you how you can utilize it in your firm. You get access to all our resources.
All right. Well, let's dive in. I'm going to add the screen, your screen, to our stream here.
Okay.
So if you want to bring up your financial sense. Okay. So basically, take it away. I'll jump in if I have questions, and I'm going to be watching the comments here. So y'all, as he's going through, let us know what you want him to focus on. We're going to kind of keep this brief because again, you can get that free trial and get a call with the sales team. So we're just going to hit the highlights so you know if this is worth pursuing. So, all right, Sharon, let's go.
Yeah, definitely. So let's think of it how I was talking about it earlier, right? We help firms get the visibility to see where work stands. So we'll talk about that first. Then I'll talk a little bit about the collaboration in the organization. So the first thing you see when you log into Financial Sense is your workflow dashboard. That's this right here. This is where you're going to get the visibility to see what work are we working on right now, who on my team is working on it, and when is it due, and are we on track, right? So in this view, you can see all that. You can see all the work across your entire firm, your work and your team's work, right? The clients it's for, when it is due, and who on your team is actually working on it. So you know where everything stands from a high level. Now, your team will have the same view, but it will only show their work. So your team will get an actionable to-do list of everything they need to do, while you have an overview, like that bird's eye view of everything going on across the firm, giving you that visibility. So what's really cool too is we have filters. The filters let you get more granular looks to track the type of work or run reports to see the work that matters most to you. And as you grow, this is really important, right? Because like, let's say you have a lot of clients. So maybe a client calls, they want to know where their work stands. You can filter for their name and instantly see all their work and where it stands. So you don't have to call them back later. You can answer it within seconds. Or maybe you want to see all the monthly bookkeeping work going on in your firm. You can search for monthly bookkeeping, see that work type. And maybe you want to see all the monthly bookkeeping work that is maybe in review or that is instead waiting on client information. You can easily run those reports to get that granular visibility. And there's a lot of ways you can filter. It's not just by work type or status or client. You can filter by due date. So work that's due this week, this month, by team members. So you can filter by one or multiple team members, like a group of people, and client groups. And the best part is if you like a report, you can save it. So you can create saved views to quickly filter in between all your different types of work. So I can see my tax returns that are due this week, or my work that's on hold but due this week, or high priority work. You can create all these custom views to really run those reports. And again, get that visibility you need as a firm owner to prevent things from slipping through the cracks.
Do you find that Financial Sense is just as robust for bookkeeping side versus tax side? I don't. I'm not a tax person, but I know some tax people watch this. In terms of Financial Sense customers, are they mostly bookkeeping, like monthly recurring work, or so break that down for us?
Definitely. So most of our customers are bookkeepers. We do work well with tax. We have a lot of tax customers, but a majority are bookkeepers. And that's because that's what we're specifically designed for. We do have recurring projects. So like this monthly bookkeeping work, it's set to recur. So when this work recurs, it's going to be monthly bookkeeping for February. See how it says January? So it automatically updates and recreates the work every month. So you don't have to do that. And if you have a backlog, you can see all your work. And bookkeepers need that in their task management tool. So yeah, I would definitely say it's built for bookkeepers, but it works well with bookkeeping, tax, and really any side of the accounting industry.
Awesome. And the colors, talk about purple and green and red. I'm curious
You
what
know,
those.
it's a funny. No one's ever asked me that. When we first started Financial Sense and we were creating it, we wanted to be easy on the eyes. We wanted to be kind of fun. And I don't know why we went with purple, but we saw it and we're like, this. It just, we could have gone with like the blue progress bar, but purple just seemed to stick really well.
All right, all right.
Yeah, and so these colors here, they're completely customizable. So with our tags or statuses, you can create as many of these as you want. You can customize them, color code them. I mean, so you can customize that how you work. But the green, yeah, I don't know. We just stumbled into that one, to be honest.
Oh, I just wanted you to be able to point out the tagging feature, and some people really do care about their colors. So, y'all, those tags are going to be super useful again with like the filtering and being able to drill down. So, all right. So, what next?
Yeah, so we've talked about the visibility, right? This is how you keep work from slipping through the cracks. Let's actually go into the work now to show how we help your team collaborate, stay organized, and really maintain work quality. So we're going to click into the project, right? So let's click on this monthly bookkeeping project. And this is where your team gets their work done at the end of the day, right? So this is where the collaboration happens. And this is where everything's organized so your team can access it really quickly. So that one of our big philosophies at Financial Sense is we want to organize everything related to the work on the work. We don't want the documents to be in some file somewhere where you can't find them or your team can't find them. We don't want that client information, contact, entity type, social security numbers, all that to be in an Excel file somewhere where your team can't find it. We want it all to be in one place. And that's how you empower your team to get work done quickly, but also without you being involved. So you can work on your business instead of in your business. So when you're looking at this, the first thing you're going to see is the checklist, right? This is your process, your SOPs. This helps maintain work quality as you grow and delegate that work. It makes you more comfortable delegating that work. So your team knows exactly how to get their work done. You can keep it simple or you can really detail it with descriptions and subtasks. You can, as you can see, it's delegated, different steps are delegated to different parts of my team. And you also, as your team goes through this, this is actually pretty cool. So you can have status automator. So you can see that, like, down there's no tag here, but when Mary completes this and now it needs to be reviewed, it automatically applied that tag or status, and it notifies Shahram, hey, Mary completed her task. You can now begin starting the next task. So it
Oh my
keeps your team
heavens!
in a loop. And
Yeah, that's essential for distributed teams, I would think too, like different times of day. And so the four things that are checked, that's feeding into that purple taskbar, right? The percentage complete.
yeah, correct. So when you click this, it's going to update this progress bar on this view and the
Yep.
status tag if that is a milestone where a status is changed. So that's like the checklist, right? That's how you maintain work quality as you grow and delegate work to your team. But you also have team collaboration. So your team can comment in here. You can tag people in comments. You can ask questions. So you can communicate again on the work instead of it being in a Slack channel or a text message or an email somewhere. You can see documents related to the work. And what's really cool is we have an email integration. So we integrate with Outlook and Gmail. So if you have email conversations with a client, you can tag it to the work. So if Adeline Collins sent me something about this monthly bookkeeping for January, I can tag that email to the work and my team will be able to see it here so that he can see all these conversations. And then the team can open them, view them, and then download documents from them, realistically seeing all the communication internally and with the clients in one place.
Do you recommend having a single company email address for this email integration to work?
No,
How does that
it's
work? No?
so each team member will just integrate their email.
Okay.
And inside of our app, you can view all your emails that are in Outlook and Gmail. You can also integrate multiple emails. So you have, like, a lot of people get emails to their personal email or the work email from clients. You can have them both integrated, so it's an aggregated inbox. And then we make it client focused. So we filter out all the spam or non-client related emails. So it's
Okay.
just a focused folder of client communication, and then you can respond to clients, you can read emails, you can delete emails, you can send emails, and it'll also update that in Outlook or Gmail. It's a two-way sync. So if you read or delete an email, it happens in Outlook and Gmail as well. So you don't have to maintain multiple inboxes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool too because this is like where you'd see this and you'd be like, oh, this is something related to that work. It's gonna apply the client's name and show all the work you're doing for that client, and then you can pin it so your team can see it, or you can create work. Like maybe this client's asking me to do something. I can
Mm-hmm.
create work from here, and it'll be on my workflow. So it's really cool to have your email integrated with your work management, because that's where a lot of the work starts and where a lot of the conversations happen with clients. Um,
Awesome.
so one other thing is I want to mention is, this is a lot of really great work related information, but you can also link to external apps from here. Because again, we want your team to be able to access everything. This is a single source of truth. We don't want them to have to go to different places to get the information they need. So you can link to, Google Docs, Google Excel sheets, other apps. Like I can open up SmartVault from inside Financial Sense. So your team has all the resources over here. Um, what's also really cool is your client's profile. So like, let's say you need to see some other client information. You can open your client's profile inside Financial Sense. This is where we store not just work related information, but all your client info. It's like a Rolodex, right? So you can see all the work you're doing for this specific client, meeting notes from past meetings,
Mm-hmm.
contact information. This is custom fields. You can add like entity type, how they heard about you, when their birthday is, or their anniversary was of being a client. You can see all the passwords and usernames to all the apps for that client. So all the passwords are securely stored in this encrypted area. Um, you have document management. You can see all the past returns or reports. Um, really everything you need related to the client. And you also have the email audit trail. So it's every conversation you or anyone on your team has with a client is automatically added here. So it's like an audit trail of all client communication. So you can go back and see that if you need to figure out what happened or if something went wrong.
All those
Um,
files that you showed the file image of, those were sort of stored in Financial Sense, or is it like a connection to a Dropbox or anything like that, or like how, like where does that actually live?
Great. So this is stored in Financial Sense. So you wouldn't need
Okay.
Dropbox. We
Okay.
are working on integrating with Dropbox and Google Drive and some other systems like Smart Vault, because some people just prefer that. So you could still access those documents inside Financial Sense, but right now, they're just stored inside Financial Sense.
How are people getting all that client data in, like the detail, like the birthdays, that sort of thing? Is there an integration with like an onboarding?
Yeah,
Um,
great question. You can import that information. So if you have a spreadsheet with all your clients' names, when you import it, you can import all these custom fields if you have it in a spreadsheet.
okay. Okay.
Um, so what's cool too is all this information can be displayed in your. Oh, but let me go back to this. So then, like, let's say your team needs to get the contact information, they can get back to the work. So again, I really want to talk about, it's not just about the collaboration, it's also about the organization. Your team has everything they need, one place to go, or even if it's just you, right? One place you have to go to get all your information to get your work done and stay on top of things. And then if you want, you can see your client database. So these are all my clients and all that, the information I was showing you earlier in this like a database format, which is really cool. Um, so um, one last thing I want to talk about before we get into the AI, is another big feature, probably one of our most popular features, is we can help you automate client data collection and get documents faster. We found that one of the biggest pain points for accountants and bookkeepers is chasing down their
Yeah.
clients for the same information every week and every month. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a pain in the butt. It wastes a lot of time. And when you can't get it, it creates a backlog of work. Um, so we built this feature to help you get it faster and automate that process. So you can see that there's already some stuff here, but basically, my clients already completed all these tasks. So basically, you can create a request list. Let me open this back up. You can create a request list for your client. So every month for monthly bookkeeping, maybe you request, the credit card transactions or the bank statements, right? You can add that request list. Let me delete these. You can add that request list, right? And then once you set it up, you can set up the automation. So maybe I want to send this request list to my client on the first of every single month automatically. So January 1st, February 1st, March 1st, my client will automatically, I don't have to do anything, get this request list. And
Wow.
then even better, it's going to follow up with them every few days. So you can say, I want to follow up with the client every 3 days until they get it done. So now you don't have to chase your client anymore. So
And
your
the
client,
client is answering in Financial Sense, which triggers Financial Sense to say that it's been completed.
yep. So the client's going to get a text message and an email. So they'll get an email that will say, hey, ABC Bookkeeping has requested this information from you. It'll show the tasks in the email and they'll click it and it'll take them into the portal. And they'll also get a text message, because not everyone looks at email, saying, hey, your accountant has requested documents, go to your inbox. So it helps you get your clients faster because they're getting a text and email reminder.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also very easy because your client does not have to create a username or password to access the portal. So one thing we do that's different is we have a magic link. This is a secure link that allows you to share and request sensitive information with your client, but it doesn't require them to ever download an app, create a username or password, because it can be really hard to get your clients to do that or just remember their password. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll get an email and within one click, they'll be in their portal where this example, there's a lot of requests, but they'll be able to see all the requests. So they can click in and see the information you requested. They can upload the documents. They can mark it completed. They can ask you questions. And then when that happens, it's automatically going to flow into Financial Sense. So those documents will be shown here. The communication with the client will be here, and you'll get notified in the app and via email when that happens. So you're on top of it. You're getting this information automatically. It's like magic, and it's keeping you in the loop and saving you time, which is probably one of our most popular features. And it just ties so well into helping you get your work done because you need that information, right? And it
Right.
keeps it organized in one place too. These documents aren't in your email anymore. They're all right here where your team's getting the work done, so everyone can access it. So yeah, so that's just a quick overview of FC. I want to talk about the AI tools, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing we did is what we decided we want to use. Where do most firms when they're starting out struggle the most with workflow? And we found it's documenting your processes, right? Creating those processes, like how your firm does the work, and putting it down into a format where your team can use it, like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So inside Financial Sense, you have a workflow template library. We create a lot of great templates that you can use in your firm, but maybe you want to create your own, right? But you don't know where to start. So you can now use ChatGPT to do it for you. So if you click create template and use AI, you can see here we have a few examples, but you can type any type of workflow you want, right? For AI to create a workflow template for. And it can be simple, like how to do payroll on Gusto, or how to do a 1040 tax return with Drake, or how to do client onboarding with Practice Ignition. But let's say like you want to get detailed. Maybe you want to do a tax return for a married couple filing jointly who owns rental properties, right? You can type that in here. I'm just going to use this save prompt. It's going to do the magic in the background. You're going to have to wait a few seconds. But then it's going to create a checklist for you. And if you don't like it, you can retry it. If you want. So like give it a few more
Or
seconds.
just edit it, or like, is it if it's 90% good enough to finish the rest of the 10%?
Exactly. Yeah. So as you can see here, it created this checklist. You can see all the steps. If it's just completely off, you can try another prompt. But let's say we like it for the most part, we can customize it. Create it as a template. It's now a template inside Financial Sense. And then you can add new tasks. You can edit their task. You can delete it. So it gives you like a good foundation to build off of.
And you just created this inside your template library. It's not assigned to a client yet, and so then whenever you need to add it to certain clients, you have this as a template.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So the next step is with the AI is how can we do even better, right? So there's a few things. One is when you're let's say you want to like this step right here about like ensuring that you have all the documents gathered. maybe you want to create subtasks using AI to further detail a specific step. So it creates sub steps for this one step. So you can like really get granular with your processes. And if you wanted to, detail them a little bit more, document them a little bit better, so you can really delegate that work and the team member know exactly what to do. So that's another thing we're going to be releasing. Also, client requests. You can generate typical client requests for this type of workflow. So again, just helping you document these processes in the beginning so your firm can be more successful, more scalable, and just create great client deliverables at the end of the day.
So the creating the client requests, that's kind of like where most of the stuff I've seen on AI and Chat GPT for accounting users is a lot of the like softer skills where we need to like compose emails or ask for things, and so that's the next frontier for y'all adopting it. We'll be able to like smart compose things.
Yep. So
Okay.
that is a little different than this.
Okay.
So this would be more like, remember how we talked about like every month most bookkeepers request the same like information from clients for monthly bookkeeping.
Okay.
If you were starting out and you didn't know what to request, you could click that and it would make the suggestions of what to request.
Okay.
But with our email, since we have email in our system, the next step is we're about to release email templates. So you can create email templates for like, common responses, and then use AI to create new, like a welcome email template, a client offboarding email template, but also when you're to help you write emails. So like when you're composing an email, right, you could type in, price increase, friendly voice, right? And then it'll write an email for you. And
Friendly voice, yes.
and it'll respond.
Right.
And you could use that and send it.
Towards the end of tax season, it's like, help me not be a jerk.
Yeah. Make me nicer.
Someone watching on Facebook, I don't have their name, is saying that the AI, the client request AI feature is pretty impressive. I agree. Especially whenever you're like in the moment, like I find that like is what sort of stops me. Like I'm doing something and I need an answer, like I need my checklist, right? And I don't have time to do it right then. So then I kind of just finish the work, like, but I don't go back and like systematize what I'm doing. But if I have a way to systematize, like, okay, I'm doing this new thing, where's my checklist? Even though I'm not going to, I don't know if I'm going to have another client asking this, but I can quickly get it in FC, then that's where I see, like, for someone like me, being able to have that quickly generated thing. So it's not really like, so then the checklist doesn't become another step.
Exactly.
It's just kind of, it's just, I just have to hop on one little thing and I get it done, instead of this big thing that feels like, oh, it's just easier to not do the checklist. So very, very cool.
And there's another area too we're thinking about adding the AI. So inside of Financial Sense, we have document management. Now, we don't have a place yet where you can store like internal firm documents, but we're adding that. But like maybe you want an engagement letter, you don't have one, or you want a new one. You could use AI to say, create me a bookkeeping engagement letter, and then it'll create it and save it to your document management system in our app. Or maybe you want to create like a employee handbook process. It will create that document and then save it inside the app. So like you could create like common firm documents or processes that are documented in like a more of like a Word doc, and then save them. So use it to create those and save them in your internal document management system.
Yeah, then the whole team has access to them.
Exactly. And that's something we're pretty excited about too. So there's a lot of areas we can use AI. But those are kind of what we're thinking right now, just helping you kind of lay the foundation, right? Responding to clients faster, streamlining communication, streamlining your workflows, documenting your workflows, and also documenting just your processes and forms, and helping you be more professional with clients.
Yeah. They have a lot of just like resources and templates that they have done. I know that in our old interviews, I put links to some templates and downloads that we have in our old on that playlist. I don't have them on the bottom of this description yet, but we we definitely need to just highlight that y'all have the education piece that kind of goes behind, because you might be feeling overwhelmed, y'all, like I don't even know how to get to the point where I need a financial sense. And
Mhm.
financial sense helps you get to the point where you'll need it, because you understand what it is to run a firm, what it is to run a firm well. I'd never worked in an accounting firm, I don't. So it's kind of a weird thing to think that, so it's like financial sense can almost be like your teacher about, this is how the good firms run things. This is how they delegate. This is how they check things off. This is the dashboard, so the boss can see like who's behind, who's moving quickly, who needs more work. Um, so yeah, so there's no other questions right now. If y'all have any, go ahead and chime in super fast. Otherwise, we will wrap up. As a reminder, try that free trial. Pick a week where you have time to kind of play with it, y'all. So start it then. See if you can import some of those clients. See if you can get your best client to send a request to, and have them respond, and have them tell you if it was easy or not. That's what I would do as you're trying to implement what probably feels like a big software for your firm. But you think you saw how user friendly it was. So and their team is there to help you like get over those hurdles that you might be having. So then it just becomes second nature to just have clients work this way and have your team work this way.
Yeah.
So, any last thoughts, Shahram?
No, I mean, thank you for having me. And, if anyone has any questions about financial sense, go to the website, start a trial, talk to our team. But yeah, it's great to have you here. It's great to be here.
Hey, let me jump in with one question. Someone's saying, does it integrate with QuickBooks Online or Xero?
It integrates with QuickBooks Online. We're working on a Xero integration. And what QBO does and what Xero will do is, one, it imports all your clients and syncs them. So if you get a new client in QBO, it'll automatically add it to Financial Sense. Or if you update contact information in one system, it'll update it in the other. So it keeps everything in sync. And then time tracking. So you can track time in our system, billable and non-billable. But then you can create invoices in QBO with the time tracked in our system. So it's just great for invoicing, keeping your time synced, payroll. You can do all that inside Financial Sense with the QBO integration.
That's reminding me, one of my, I think maybe our first teaching session that we did, if not, it was one of our early ones, about this idea how we all have an effective hourly rate, whether we bill hourly or not. And I really believe in that. And I get frustrated with all the like value price this, fixed pricing this. And it's like, but at the end of the day, how long did you spend working? And Financial Sense allows you to track that, even if you aren't a time-based biller, which I agree that we should try to move away from that.
Yeah.
But that was one of our, if probably
It
that
was at first.
effective hourly rate lesson that he did, and then I think his like how to build a checklist lesson is super valuable. I mean, it is definitely like beyond Financial Sense. Like it helps you no matter where you are in your journey, what software you're testing out, you're thinking of using. So that one is a really great beginner lesson too. So why don't we wrap up? We got the questions answered. We got lots of thumbs up coming in from people watching on Facebook, and for all y'all people watching this replay, give us a thumbs up too, and we will. I'm sure Shahram will be back. He always is. He sticks around. So thanks for all you do for our to help people get off the ground, for bookkeeping and accounting entrepreneurs, Shahram.
Yeah. No
Adios for
problem.
now, everyone. Bye.
See ya.